students. Today we are going to study roundworm. Ascaris lumbricoides is the largest nematode parasite in the human intestine. They are more common in children than in adults. As many as 500 to 5,000 adult worms may inhabit a single host. Giant intestinal roundworms, and the disease it causes is ascariasis. The only host is the intermediate and the final host, that is the human being. In the definitive host, the location of the adult worm is the small intestine and of the larva is in the lungs. The infective stage of Ascaris is ovum. The characteristics of female Ascaris. First, the size. The size of the female Ascaris is 200 to 350 millimeter in length and 4 to 6 millimeter thickness. The color of the female Ascaris is ivory color. The posterior end is straight. There are no spicules in the female Ascaris and the papillae are absent. In the next slide, we'll study the male Ascaris, and after that you'll have a diagram where you can compare the male and the female Ascaris both. The male Ascaris is 150 to 200 millimeter in length and 2 to 4 millimeter in thickness. So you can say that it is smaller and thinner in compared to female. The color of the male Ascaris is reddish pink in color and the posterior end is curved. It has 2 spicules and has many papillae. Compare the male and the female Ascaris. Now you can compare the sizes of the male and female. You can see that the spicules are present in the male but they are absent in the female Ascaris. The male is smaller compared to the female and the female is thicker compared to the male. The dimensions are given in the PPTs. You can have a look at the PPTs and compare the sizes. Distribution of the Ascaris. It is highly prevalent in the underdeveloped countries that have poor sanitation, like parts of Asia, South America and Africa. It occurs during the rainy months, tropical and the subtropical countries. It even occurs in the rural areas of the United States. Ascaris, as you have seen in the figure, it is elongated, cylindrical and tapering at the both ends. Both the sexes, male and the female, are separate. The female is longer than the male, which you have already studied in the previous slides. Male is smaller, female is larger in size and thicker. The posterior end of the male is curved, having spicules at its end. Go through this slide carefully, as I have shown various types of lips in this, which is a very important feature of Ascaris. In the next slide we'll study it, so have a look on these slides carefully. Ear or the mouth parts of the scarus. It is surrounded by three finely toothed lips. The lips are one dorsal and two ventrolateral. These lips bear sensory structures called labial papillae. The dorsal lip has two double sensory papillae and the ventral lip has one double sensory papilla. The ventrolateral lip also bear amphibial gland which is olfactory and chemoreceptor. Proceed to the life cycle, just have a brief introduction of the life cycle. The lifespan of the adult is about 1 year. There is no intermediate or the reservoir is host, and the route of infection is by mouth. The infective stage is the embryonated eggs, and site of inhabitation of this worm is the small intestine. Proceeding into the life cycle, just go through this figure, study it properly, because life cycle is very important in each and every parasite. The life cycle, I have given two diagrams. Study it with the diagram, it will be easier for you. Adult worms live in the lumen of the small intestine. A female may produce approximately 2 lakh eggs per day, which are passed with the feces. There are two types of eggs, fertilized and unfertilized eggs, which I have described later in the slides. We'll compare those eggs with the diagrams later. After infective eggs are swallowed, the larvae hatch and invade the intestinal mucosa. They are further carried by the portal and the systemic circulation to the lungs. The larvae mature there further in the lungs. It takes about 10 to 14 days and they penetrate the alveolar walls, ascend to the bronchial tree, to the throat and are swallowed. When they are swallowed, they again reach the gas. On reaching the small intestine, they develop into adult worms. It takes about 2 to 3 months from ingestion to the infective eggs to be passed by the adult female. Adult worms can live from 1 to 2 years. Transmission of Ascaris infection. As it is passed in feces, so infection occurs mainly by ingestion of contaminated food or water that contains eggs. It can occur by inhalation of contaminated dust with eggs. Sometimes children play in the contaminated soil that may be contaminated with the feces. Now we come to the pathogenesis. There are two phases of pathogenesis. First is the blood-lung migration phase of the larva. When the larva migrates to the lungs, the larva may cause a pneumonia. The symptoms of the pneumonia are low fever, cough, blood-tinged sputum, asthma. Large number of worms may give rise to allergic symptoms. Eosinophilia is very common. These clinical manifestation is also called Loeffler syndrome. I have given a list of symptoms of Loeffler syndrome on the right hand side. phase comes the intestinal phase of the adults. The presence of a few adult worms in the lumen of the small intestine usually produce no symptoms or are asymptomatic, but may give rise to vague abdominal pains or intermittent colic, especially in children. A few worm burden can result in malnutrition. More serious manifestations they can block the appendiceal lumen or the common bile duct and even perforate the intestinal wall. The complications of ascariasis are intestinal obstruction, appendicitis, biliary ascariasis, perforation of the intestine, cholecystitis, pancreatitis, and peritonitis. Comes the symptoms of ascariasis. Sometimes the case may be without any symptoms or the asymptomatic. When the symptoms are there, they can be categorized into stage 1, stage 2 and the stage 3. In the stage 1, larvae in the bowels attached to bowel worms and then larvae migrate into the lungs. In the stage 2, there is fever, difficulty with coughing and pneumonia and breathing. In the stage 3, worms enter the small intestine and mature into worms and remain there to feed. It can lead to variety of symptoms such as abdominal symptoms, abdominal discomfort, intestinal blockage, partial intestinal blockage, total intestinal blockage, severe abdominal pain, vomiting, restlessness, disturbed sleep, worm in stool, worm in vomit. This depends upon the identification of the worm or the egg. So we'll examine the stool, the sputum and the blood. We'll see the stool for the adult worm or the egg. For the sputum, again for seeing the larva. Eosinophilia will be an indicator for the parasitic infection. Produces three types of eggs: the fertilized, unfertilized and the decorticated eggs. Fertilized Ascaris egg is spherical or ovoid. It is golden brown in color. It is enclosed in a stout translucent shell consisting of three layers. The outer is a coarsely mammillated albuminide coat, a thick transparent middle layer, and the inner lipoidal vitelline membrane. In the middle of the egg is a large unsegmented ovum containing a mass of coarse lecithin granules. It nearly fills the egg except for a clear crescenting area at either pole. The unfertilized egg is longer and more elliptical. The shell is thinner with the outer mammillary coat scanty and irregular. The ovum is atrophic and contains numerous disorganized, highly refractile granules of various sizes. The unfertilized egg is relatively heavy and does not float in the saturated solution, while the fertilized eggs are lighter and they float in the saturated salt solution. The fertilized eggs sometimes may lack the outer albuminous layer and are colorless. These are called decorticated eggs. Unfertilized eggs are shown. with all the layers, so you can have a look and compare it with the PPT. Preventive part of the Ascaris infection. Since it comes from the bad hygiene, so we have to keep good sanitation conditions. Pollution of soil with human faces should be avoided. Vegetables should be thoroughly washed in a mild solution of potassium permanganate and properly cooked before use. Fingernails should be properly cut to avoid the collection of dirt and eggs below them. Hands should be properly washed with some antiseptic soap before touching edibles or eating. Psoriasis is the treatment. As far as allopathy is concerned, we don't require to know much, but for your knowledge, albendazole and mebendazole is used by the allopath practitioners. As we are from homeopathy, we should know the homeopathic medicines used in ascariasis. I am just giving the names: Cinna, Colosin, Merxol, Spigelia. These are the medicines used for the ascariasis. You can have the details from the book.